The prize is huge, the mission is nerve-shredding. This week on the Football League show, it's the first leg of the playoff semi-finals. Burnley, Reading, Preston and Sheffield United all have their sights set on a Wembley final and Premier League football. And we've got all the action from Leagues 1 and 2 as dreams of promotion will be won and lost. One of the 4 teams bidding for the Premier League is Burnley. Among the founder members of the Football League, this is a club that is proud of its rich heritage.
I think you walk through the doors at the club, you can sense that history and that tradition, and I think that's important. I think it's important you know where a club's come from, and we have that sense of tradition, and we want to carry it on. We want to create some new history, as I say.
This season under Owen Coyle, Burnley have made headlines with their sensational Carling Cup run. They knocked out 3 London Premier League teams, including Chelsea, on penalties at Stamford Bridge. Then they beat an exciting young Arsenal team in front of a passionate home crowd at Turf Moor. And in the semi-finals, the Clarets were just a minute away from beating Tottenham before their Wembley hopes were dashed in the final minutes of extra time.
What we have to do is concentrate what's in front of us. We think there's some very good players that can develop within a team structure and play entertaining football, and at the same time try and win football matches, and that's what we're trying to do.
It's a squad that Coyle has moulded into an attractive attacking force since his arrival early last season. The club have been in or around the playoff places for most of the campaign and now have their shot at the Premier League. Having finished in 5th, Burnley will play the team that finished just 1 place and 1 point ahead of them, Reading. The Royals are looking for an immediate return to the Premier League, where they spent 2 years. The last time they were in the Championship, they set a Football League record of 106 points. They haven't found it so easy this season, but did beat both of the automatically promoted teams, Wolves and Birmingham, away from home. And that's where they've been strongest. Incredibly, since January, Reading are unbeaten on their travels. But in that period, they're without a win at home. Burnley did manage to beat Reading 3-1 at Turf Moor, but would playing at home really be an advantage this time? Your commentator for this Championship playoff semi-final first leg is Peter Brackley.
Now Rossignol. Caldwell stood his ground well, but the clearance was a little weak. There could still be big danger here. Oh, what a stop. Fairness, it was straight at it, Matt Jensen, but he didn't bat an eyelid. And that's Jensen's save off the line. Twice there, Reading denied. Rossignol. Jensen to the rescue from Piqué. Really good climb then. I'm not sure he knew too much about it. Of course, they got no real height or physical presence up front, Burnley. But they do have the option of Steve Thompson on the bench. And they've got a real grafter, of course, in Patterson. Was that over the line then? He thought so, not that he could see from there. Young and old, totally immersed in this semi-final first leg. Galvanez. Oh, Thompson, surely pulled back. He was. It's a penalty. And Piqué yellow carded as well. It looked a clear shirt ball to me. Graham Alexander, the man who's scored, I think it's 9 penalties this season, has the chance now to deliver a lead for his team, to give them an advantage for the second leg to come in 3 days' time. Alexander scores! In style, as usual. Do you know he practices these every day still? He's absolutely deadly from 12 yards. That's how to take a penalty. Thompson. Blake. Ran into BK. And I think Blake left his leg trailing then. Oh, the reaction from BK has brought the red card. He's out of control. Harneman trying to calm him down. He tangled there with Blake. Oh, and he stepped on him. But just look at this. The last thing he wanted to see was Andre Biquet behaving in that fashion. Still so much to play for on Tuesday, but they'll have to do it without him. It's advantage Burnley, thanks to Graham Alexander. So cool, so composed from the penalty spot. No celebrating. He says, look, hang on, it's only half time. Quite right too. Final score from Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Reading 0.
We're delighted with the result today against a very good Reading side, who are obviously still, and have been favourites for the tie. We now go to the Majeski, and it's in the balance, there's no doubt about that. I mean, they are a very good side, but I do feel that we can play better than what we showed today.
It's all to play for, isn't it? We've got a home game. It's going to be a tough game. Burnley once again showed the resilience. They just, stick in their hard work inside, and full respect to them. We've got a job to do. We've got to try and do what we haven't done recently, and that's to get a victory at home. But, it's still close.
The other Championship playoff semi-final was also in the footballing heartland of Lancashire. Preston North End sneaked into the playoffs on the final day of the season after a run of 4 consecutive wins. They would face the third-place team Sheffield United, who had hoped for automatic promotion until that final day. Commentary again comes from Peter Brackley.
Preston really have hit for momentum just at the right time. 4 straight wins coming into the playoffs. Clever turn though by Ward, and almost an early breakthrough then for Sheffield United. Oh, there's no flag. St Ledger. It ricocheted off a defender into his path, and the man who scored the winner on Sunday to earn them their place in the playoffs has done it again. That's Ward as United spread around here. Howard cleverly on to Stephen Quinn. Off a post from Parkin. He rose there pretty much unattended, and it thumped against the upright. Denied by the post. United starting this second half. They will certainly feel they can get something out of this game to take to Bramall Lane in the return on Monday. And here's Halford on the prowl straight away. Ward to swing it back. Oh, and it's in from Howard. What a start to the second half for Sheffield United. and Preston minds were still in the dressing room. We've got Beattie there surging through the centre. Craig Beattie, good first touch, awful second one. Now Beattie, Brian Howard, oh what a save from Lonergan. That was really travelling there. That was heading for the corner. And now they've got Craig Beattie going for a winner here, and again it's Lonergan to the rescue. Held his nerve. Waited and waited, didn't commit himself until the last moment. And Beattie didn't have the guile to steer it past him. Norton, one last fling perhaps by Preston. There's no time. It's finished all square. In a rumbustious first leg here in the semi-final of the playoffs. Terrific contest. Beattie, who had the chance, and what a chance, to win it then for Sheffield United right at the death. It's finished tonight. Preston North End 1, Sheffield United 1.
Chances at both ends. Obviously we had to withstand quite a lot of pressure at different times, which we knew we would. There were times when we played quite well and other times when we didn't play so well. I said before the game that the most important thing was that we were in contention after this game, and that's what we are.
Both teams give it a right good go. I mean, that was a great game for the first leg. You know, it's all to play for now at Bramall Lane for both teams, so we're well aware of that.
Still to come, Leeds and Millwall are among the teams looking to leave League One behind them. And we've also the best of the action from the League Two playoff first legs. May is well underway, but last month provided another classic month of goals. And here's our top 10 from April.
Here's Gareth Roberts. Is that a cross? Oh, has he gone for goal? Oh, he's gone in!
Liam Feeney, on loan from Salisbury City, has looked in the mood today. He's got the opening now. Feeney! Oh, magnificent goal!
Charlton still pressing. Here's Rackon. Oh, he's lifted that over the goalkeeper. It's 2-1.
Cardiff leading 1-0, looking good for a second here. Ross McCormack brilliantly past Davis. McCormack! Fantastic goal! Ross McCormack!
Bradley Wright Phillips trying to weave a bit of magic on the edge of that area. Comes back to him. Oh, and he's done it this time!
Here's Jason Scotland, who's turned well too. Oh, terrific strike! His 22nd goal of the season, and it's an absolute cracker. It's a great effort. What a goal by McKenna!
Well won by Lee Johnson. Here's Gavin Williams. To Maynard, that's a clever touch. Here's Johnson. Oh, that's a really good goal.
This is Greg Halford. They haven't closed him down. Oh, and he's delivered too. A tremendous goal.
It's going to be Wallace. Oh, it's in! What a fantastic free kick from Ross Wallace!
In League One, Millwall were hoping to make a return to the Championship after an absence of 3 years. But the South Londoners had to face another club with big ambitions. Leeds United, after the two finished in 4th and 5th in the regular season. Leeds reached last year's League One playoff final, but were beaten at Wembley and hoped that this would be the season that they could start their revival. Leeds striker Jermaine Beckford had scored 34 goals in all competitions going into this match. He had a chance to add to that tally after only a minute at the New Den, but couldn't beat David Ford in the Millwall goal. Neil Harris has scored more goals for Millwall than any player in the club's history. He came on as an early sub for the Lions and tried his luck against Kasper Ankergren after the break. Beckford was looking the most dangerous attacking player for the Yorkshire club. He fashioned a chance for himself, but couldn't find a finish. On 70 minutes, Gary Alexander made a driving run for Millwall. He picked out Harris in the penalty area, and the Lions hitman made sure with potentially his most important goal for the club, his 114th. Millwall pushed to add to that tally. Andy Frampton went close. But the tie is poised for a tense second leg at Ellen Road.
It was certainly tough. It was certainly League One football at its best. Two, I think, fairly evenly matched teams. And sometimes you only get that one chance to put the ball in the net.
There's nothing in that game that we didn't expect from the start. It was a difficult game. It was hostile atmosphere. There were a lot of nip and tuck between both teams working ever so hard, and it was a very close game. We knew that before the game that we had to make sure we stayed in the game to have the tie back at Ellen Road, and we're certainly not out of it.
Scunthorpe have seen Championship football more recently than either Millwall or Leeds. They were hoping to make an immediate return after relegation last season. The Iron won their place in this playoff semi-final thanks to a late equaliser against Tranmere in the final game of the season. Their opponents were third-placed MK Dons. It was the home side who started the strongest and took the lead after only 11 minutes. Paul Hayes' drive forced the save from Willie Garay. But Martin Wolford followed up to give Scunthorpe the lead. His 6th and most important goal so far this season. The Dons had finished the campaign just 2 points behind second-place Peterborough, who won automatic promotion. They were fortunate to earn a corner midway through the first half, when the ball came off the Dons' Scottish midfielder, Peter Levin. It proved to be a costly decision for Scunthorpe. From the corner, Roberto Di Matteo's team were level. Aaron Wilbraham getting the final touch. A controversial equaliser, but how decisive could it be in the playoff battle? Nigel Atkins-Iron have already played at Wembley once this season. They were beaten by Luton in the Johnson's Paint Trophy final. They thought they were a step closer to another trip after the break. Gary Hooper put the ball in the net. But the goal was ruled out for offside. A second look showed it was a correct decision by the assistant referee. So 1-1 it finished at Glanford Park. All to play for at Stadium MK in the second leg.
I think it's still open. Obviously, we're going to be playing at home, so we've got a little advantage of playing at our stadium. But I think it's still all in.
Off game now, down at their place. We know we can go there and win. They believe they can go and win as well, so it's going to be exciting.
In League Two, the playoff places were filled by Bury, Gillingham, Rochdale and Shrewsbury. Rochdale and Gillingham met in the first semi-final. Rochdale were hoping to go one better than last season when they were beaten in the playoff final by Stockport. Gillingham was seeking a return to League One after relegation last term. The two teams met at the same venue on the last day of the season, when the Gills won. But Dale made most of the first half running in this game, and Will Buckley went close. Gillingham finished the season 5 points better off than Rochdale, but it was the Kent side who were under pressure for much of this match. Gary Jones' effort couldn't get the better of Simon Royce. As the clock ticked down, Rochdale pressed. Chris Dagnall had the chance, but once again Royce stood his ground. A man of the match performance from the Gills' number 1. So it ended all square. Still everything to play for in the second leg at Priestfield.
There's no advantage to anyone. You know, it's just one game. It's not been completed, is it, half-time? And we're more than happy we've kept a clean sheet. It was a very cagey affair. I thought it was a good spectacle. And, you know, we've kept a clean sheet, and it's really important keeping a clean sheet going into the second game. The pressure's probably on the home side now.
We're just going to try and go about it as professional as we can, and we're going to try and win the game. We come here tonight to try and win it in a certain way. It didn't work out, but we got a good draw. But we know it's going to be tight, and we'll wait and see.
The second of League Two's playoff semi-finals pitched 7th place Shrewsbury against 4th place Bury, who missed out on automatic promotion on goal difference on the final day. And it was the Shrews who pressed for the early advantage. First Ben Davies and then Grant Holt were both thwarted by Wayne Brown. It was deadlocked until 9 minutes from time. What Neil Ashton was thinking, only he will know. But there was nothing keeper Luke Daniels could do, and Bury had a crucial goal. The Shrews almost earned a late equaliser, record signing Holt stinging Brown's fingers. But the first leg advantage goes to Alan Nill's side.
It doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win, and I think we did that tonight. Probably didn't play as well as we can do, but the bottom line is, you know, we won.
Finally this week, it's time for us to give you our Football League Show Championship team of the season. Starting in goal, Julian Speroni is our pick of the keepers. The Argentinian has once again been one of Crystal Palace's outstanding performers during the campaign. In defence, Daniel Fox has really come of age in his second season at Coventry. The left-back has given his team an extra attacking option, scoring 5 goals during the campaign. No-nonsense defender Chris Morgan has anchored the Blades' mean backline this season. The Sheffield United skipper makes it into our team as centre-back. Cardiff City just missed out on the playoffs. That was despite the best efforts of their dependable central defender Roger Johnson, who also contributed 5 goals this season. At right back is a young player with huge potential. Kyle Norton has been an outstanding addition to the Sheffield United team. Strong defensively and going forward, Norton can also play in midfield. In midfield, Cardiff captain Joe Ledley has once again been his club's standout player in their rollercoaster season. A skillful, high-impact player, Ledley has been catching the eye of the Premier League's top clubs. Lee Carsley brought Premier League quality to Birmingham when he signed from Everton last summer. The veteran midfielder has been at the heart of a promotion campaign. Chris McCann has played in all but one of Burnley's league games this season. And the Irishman's class has shone through with 8 goals. Wolves winger Michael Kitely has had another outstanding season. Direct, quick and with an eye for goal, he's been key to the Wanderers' promotion campaign. One of the places up front goes to Swansea's Jason Scotland. Indispensable in the Swans' debut campaign in the Championship, the explosive Trinidad and Tobago striker netted an incredible 21 league goals. Alongside him, Sylvain Ebanks-Blake, again the Championship's top marksman. His 25 goals propelled Wolves to the Premier League and the Championship title. And our choice for manager of the season is Burnley's Owen Coyle. In his first full campaign in charge, Coyle led the Clarets on an incredible Carling Cup run and could yet take them to the Premier League. Wembley beckons for the lucky winners, and we'll bring you all the drama and excitement from the playoff semi-final second legs. That's next week on the Football League Show. See you then.
For a Championship semi-final playoff second leg showdown between Sheffield United and Preston. The tie is finally poised after the two teams met last week in the first leg at Deepdale. North End had taken a first-half lead through Sean St Ledger. But Brian Howard equalised for the Blades just after the break to make it 1-1 going into this game. A crowd of over 26,000 were at Bramall Lane to see if the Blades could take a step closer to returning to the Premier League from where they were controversially relegated 2 years ago. Commentary comes from Peter Brackley.
Howard's in the middle with Beattie and Halford. That was St Ledger. Straight to Walker though, Cotterill. In goes Beattie and Halford. Oh, only a whisker away there, Billy Jones. He just managed to shepherd that one away. Here's Beattie now. Needed interchange, Beattie! Lovely build-up. Stephen Quinn heavily involved. But it flashed the wrong side of the post from the man on loan from West Bromwich Albion. Cotterill. Then Carl Walker. Halford, yes! A breakthrough at last, and it's Greg Halford, the man on loan from Sunderland, who was guided in the goal that might just seal their place in the playoff championship final. Still Beattie, was he brought down? Howard's there? Oh, just wouldn't go in. Goodness me, how on earth did that stay out? Only half cleared. Sure. Elliott. How close was this? Preston sensing they are not out of this yet. That was Wallace's corner. Billy Jones couldn't force it in. Well, they were hanging on there, United. Howard back in defensive mode. A puffing of the cheeks. And frustration for Preston. This is to be yet a lifeline for Preston. McKenna. Sheffield United, thanks to Greg Halford's goal, are through to the Championship playoff final. Kevin Blackwell's team have done it. The seeds of success planted in Friday's 1-1 draw at Deepdale. And tonight, in front of their adoring fans in the red half of the Steel City, they have gone on to complete the job. They have beaten Preston North End by a 1-0, 2-1 on aggregate.
Reading were hoping for an immediate return to the Premier League after relegation a year ago. They faced Burnley in their playoff semi-final. It was the Clarets that had the advantage from a tense first leg at Turf Moor. Graham Alexander's penalty, the only goal of that game. Reading knew they would have a tough task to overturn that lead. They hadn't won at home since January going into this match at the Medeski Stadium. Commentary, once again, from Peter Brackley.
There's a real chance here then for Reading. Left boot of Harding or the right of Manavioski. Or have they got something else up their sleeve? It is Harding, it's squeezed through, and it's just about held on there. Shane Long doing his best to distract him, the keeper. And now the break could be on. This is where they could be so dangerous. They've got 4 up in support here very quickly. Patterson cutting infield and letting fly. Oh, yes! It's an absolute beauty. And Burnley may well be on their way to Wembley. What a strike from Martin Patterson. Heartbreak as it stands for Reading. But as it stands, Burnley are in control. Thompson. Oh, it's there! And that's surely it now. Burnley have a 3-goal aggregate lead. And it's, well, mission impossible, he said at the start, even more so now. But another explosive finish, this time from Thompson. It's looking better by the minute now for Owen Coyle's team. Well, that part of the ground is bouncing. Clipped in by Little. Away by Carlisle. Only to Hunt. Now Kitson had it under control. Just won't go in for them. Not tight enough, he's saying. He just wandered into space then. Dave Kitson. Another chance, nearly another goal. McCann on the end of that ball played in. That would have been curtains for Reading. But when it came to the crunch, Reading did not have enough this evening going forward. And they're in trouble again now. Rodriguez, just the wrong side of the post. So nearly then, inflicting further damage, more misery. It won't be long now, and the Burnley celebrations can begin. Time to party, and then it's all down to the business of playing at Wembley and trying to win their way through to the Premier League, the riches and the glory. Burnley are indeed on their way to Wembley. Their first final in the Championship playoffs. It's a glorious night for Owen Coyle and the Burnley Clarets, who have come through this semi-final with Reading comfortably, as it turned out in the end. Patterson with a storming first goal, Thompson the second one, and they have earned the right to meet Sheffield United in the final on May the 25th to decide which of them will join champions Wolverhampton Wanderers and runners-up from the Championship Birmingham City in the Premier League next season.
We know we've got strength of character, but I'm also looking for the quality on the ball, and I didn't think we possessed it, you know, as much in the first half as we should have. Thought we addressed that a little bit in the second half, but Reading are always going to come back. I mean, they're proud players, and as I say, quality players. But delighted to come here and achieve that result. It's magnificent for everybody at the football club.
Just a hollow feeling, I think, for everybody here. I think for possibly 2/3 of the season, you know, we were right up there and a lot of people's favourites, and to be honest, in the last third of the season, particularly at home, or especially at home, we just haven't delivered. We've had opportunities, a decent run of form at home, and we would have been promoted. To go 9 games at home without winning a game, eventually we paid the price.
That defeat signalled the end of an era for Reading. That evening, Steve Coppell resigned as manager of the club after 5.5 years in charge. This season has seen another vintage crop of strikes from the Football League and Carling Cup. Here are our top 10 goals from the 2008-09 campaign.
Absolute beauty.
Good effort. Brilliant effort.
This is Richie Wellens into Martin Woods, goes for the chip. Oh, it's glorious. Martin Woods makes it 2-0. It will indeed be Danny Fox. Oh, yes. That's a terrific goal. Nobody closing him down. No, that's a terrific goal. It's going to be Wallace. Oh, it's in. What a fantastic free kick from Ross Wallace. That is absolutely amazing.
Oh, it's a clever back heel by Giggs. Tevez into Anderson. This will be a wonderful goal if he scores. Oh, that's fantastic.
Beckford will make his way forward here and goes for goal. It's a brilliant way to seal his hat-trick. And that is exquisite.
Now the counter-attack will be on here with Jamal Campbell-Rice. Very positive frame of mind to the Jamaican. Still Campbell-Rice. He might go all the way here. He has too. A magnificent goal. What a goal! And there was no stopping that. An absolute peach.
Still to come, Milton Keynes Dons are aiming for the Championship, while Millwall and Leeds also look for a way out of League One. Of the 4 teams aiming to leave League One behind, 3 have recent history in the higher leagues. Leeds, Millwall and Scunthorpe are looking for a return to where they recently resided. But for the 4th club involved in these League One playoffs, this is a chance to break new ground. Milton Keynes Dons only came into existence 5 years ago. In the search for the big time, they turned to an Italian with pedigree, Roberto Di Matteo.
Obviously the club was looking for a new manager, and someone threw my name into the mix, and you know, a week later I was in the job, and I was very happy to take this opportunity.
The formation of MK Dons is one that is rooted in controversy. When Wimbledon FC was moved from southwest London 70 miles north to Milton Keynes, it was disowned by the vast majority of its original fans. But the club captain is a rare survivor from those Wimbledon days.
The club's moved, and new stadium, new kit, new name. It's hard to say that where how you can compare that to it. But for myself, I've always been here, and it's just seemed like a natural progression. It's happened quite slowly, and for me, it doesn't feel much different.
It's a new club for a new town. Milton Keynes has been planned and built since the 1960s, but without a tradition, the Dons are looking to a new generation of supporters.
I think we've got the largest population of young kids that are going. 40% of the descendants is under 16. It shows that in the area there's a lot of people that are interested. Now obviously the older generation would have had teams before, and we're just hoping to become the second teams for the likes that support Chelsea and Arsenal that don't go. Why not come down and watch us? And I think that's starting to catch on, and hopefully now we can start growing the grassroots fans that we've got.
And key to their plans is Stadium MK. Already capable of holding 22,000 fans, there are plans to add another 10,000 to that capacity. The Dons don't lack ambition.
I think like most clubs, they won't get to the Premier League. It's probably not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a bit of time, but if their club can get to the Championship, and you'd have to probably settle in there for a couple of years and then try and kick on. But I think in 10, 20 years' time, there's no reason why the club that carries on growing the way it is, it can't reach that level.
It's a huge task for any club. But former Lazio and Chelsea midfielder Di Matteo is hoping to use his experience in Europe's big leagues to bring success to this fledgling club.
I have my football philosophy, and you try to obviously make your players play the way you think is the right way to win games, and that's what we've tried to adapt. And I have to say, we found a good foundation here already.
Well, we work on a lot of pattern of play and defensive sort of formations and stuff like that. And I think Presti's Italian side of things, and he's a little bit very tactical and stuff on certain things. So I think that's probably his influence.
The club were only promoted to League One a year ago, so it's been quite an achievement for Di Matteo to take this Dons side to the playoffs in only his first year of management. Scunthorpe, relegated from the Championship a year ago, stand in the Dons' way. The two teams played out a tight first leg at Glanford Park. The Iron took an early lead through Martin Wolford. But Aaron Wilbraham's equaliser makes it all square going into the second leg at Stadium MK.
They've got a bit more experience in the sense that they came down from the Championship. They have some quality players. We know them very well. Obviously, we've played them 3 times this season, and I think it's going to be a quite even and balanced game.
MK Dons finished just 2 points outside the automatic promotion places, and with 11 points more than Scunthorpe. And it was the Dons who posed the opening threat. Sam Baldock was denied by Joe Murphy, and Aaron Wilbraham couldn't take advantage. There was nothing to split the teams over 90 minutes, so it went to extra time, and a golden chance for Scunthorpe to seal victory. David Murphy going so close. Without a goal in 120 minutes of play, the winner would be decided on penalties, and the scores were level when Scunthorpe's captain Cliff Byrne stepped up for the Iron. How decisive would that miss be? Jason Punchin was next in line for the home side, but he couldn't put MK Dons in front, still all square. With 2 more misses each, it came down to a sudden death penalty shootout. After a Scunthorpe goal, Torre-André Flo tried to keep MK Dons in the game. But victory went to Scunthorpe, and a second trip to Wembley this season after the club were beaten in the Johnson's Paint Trophy final by Luton last month. When Millwall and Leeds met last week at the New Den, it was a solitary goal from Millwall's all-time top scorer Neil Harris that gave the Londoners the advantage going into the return match in Yorkshire. Leeds reached last year's playoff final but lost out to Doncaster that time. A crowd of over 37,000 were at Ellen Road, the majority hoping that Leeds would reach Wembley again. The first half was cagey, but Leeds posed the greater threat. Jermaine Beckford and then Fabian Delph tried their luck, but they were thwarted by David Ford in the Millwall goal. After the break, it was still Simon Grayson's men piling on the pressure, and they eventually got their break. Referee Mark Hulsey spotting a shirt pull on Sam Sodji. Penalty to Leeds. The replay showing Millwall's Andy Frampton as the culprit. Top scorer Beckford stepped up, but couldn't take advantage. Leeds still trailing by a goal on aggregate. But eventually the home side's pressure did tell. Fullback Ben Parker provided the cross, and Argentinian Luciano Becchio was on hand to put Leeds ahead on the night and level overall. The momentum was with Leeds, but the Lions fought back. David Martin got to the byline and picked out Lewis Graben. The striker setting up Jimmy Abdou to stun Ellen Road. Millwall back in front. The whistle confirmed that there will be another season in League One for Leeds, while Millwall will travel across London to face Scunthorpe at Wembley next weekend.
To overcome Leeds in a two-leg semi-final for ourselves, 37,000 people here. I mean, that would be a big attendance in a Championship playoff, let alone a League One. So, you know, great achievement by ourselves to win over the two legs. But, you know, we want to go to Wembley and win. You know, that's our aim, and it's not a great place to go and lose. So, terrific tonight, but really, we have to focus on that final and do the job.
In the League Two semi-finals, Shrewsbury and Bury faced off last week in their battle to reach Wembley. In a tight encounter, it was Bury who came out on top due to a freak own goal. Advantage to Alan Nill's side going into the second leg. Gig Lane was the venue for Bury and Shrewsbury's second meeting. The Shakers with the slender 1-0 lead, but would they have the moves to take them to Wembley? Bury pressed early on and were unlucky not to get a chance to extend their advantage. Referee Colin Webster not spotting a handball in the penalty area. Shrewsbury weren't so lucky just after the half hour. Neil Ashton the culprit for the foul on Andy Morrell. The referee this time left with no choice, penalty. Phil Jevons stepped up to extend his side's lead, but Luke Daniels came to the rescue for Shrewsbury 3 times. With 2 minutes left to play, Bury looked set for Wembley. The Shrews left it late, but the response finally came. Kevin McIntyre with the strike to level the scores. The drama continued from the off in extra time when Steve Leslie's clumsy challenge on Stephen Dawson had the referee reaching for the red card. Shrewsbury down to 10 men with 30 minutes of extra time left to play. But the teams couldn't be separated, forcing a penalty shootout. With Bury missing a penalty, the scores were 3-3 when David Worrell stepped up for the Shrews. 4-3 now, and Bury needed to score to stay in it. The responsibility fell to Andy Bishop, but Luke Daniels was again the hero. The West Brom loanee booking Shrewsbury's place in the playoff final and breaking the hearts of Bury, who'd missed out on automatic promotion by a single goal.
If we get Rochdale, fantastic. If it's Gillingham, fantastic again. I'm looking forward to going to Wembley. Should be a great day out. We've had tremendous support here, and hopefully we'll get even more at Wembley.
League Two second semi-final matched those two sides, Gillingham and Rochdale. The first leg had seen plenty of action, but no goals, so it would be winner takes all at the Priestfield Stadium. So the winner of this game would face Shrewsbury at Wembley for a place in League One. Rochdale seeking to leave the 4th tier for the first time since 1974, and Gillingham hoping for a swift return to League One. And it was the Gills on the front foot early on who took the lead. Andy Bartram setting up Simeon Jackson, putting the home side a goal up after just 13 minutes. But Dale were back in the game before the break thanks to a slice of luck. A deflection off Gillingham's Barry Fuller gifted the ball to Chris Dagnall and the sides were level. But in the second half, the visitors contributed to their own downfall. Rory McArdle hauled down John Nutter to concede a penalty. Jackson took responsibility for the spot kick, his 20th of the season, giving Gillingham 1 foot in the final. It was to be the knockout punch. Gillingham 2-1 winners and set to face Shrewsbury at Wembley for the League Two playoff final.
We know it's going to be a lot of hard work and a roller coaster ride, but I think the boys should enjoy this evening and look forward to Wembley because we've just beat a very good Rochdale side.
Next week on the show, Burnley and Sheffield United fight for a Premier League place. We'll be at Wembley to catch all the tension and drama of all 3 playoff finals. See you then.